Good day, everybody. How's everyone doing? I hope you all had a tolerable weekend, if not a great weekend. Welcome back to the Long Dark. And where are we? Well, the trip to the Zone of Contamination was quite successful. I picked up the woodworking tools, which was the whole point for going, so I've got them. The situation, though... Hi, Donnie. Hi, Eugene. Hello, fur babies of all types and descriptions. So the situation is I'm actually pushing to get out of the zone of contamination before night falls. That means pushing through a glimmer fog. Now, in principle, I just need to follow the railroad. But as I said in the description, this is the Long Dark. In principle, doesn't always quite work the way you think it should. But cross fingers. The thing is, I do actually have to get out pretty quickly because I've only got a handful of cattails and I think I've got a jug of maple syrup to eat. And I might have a quick check, see if I left anything on the floor. So I need to get back to, obviously I need to get back to the transfer pass so that I can launch off into the, back to, where was it? Broken Railroad as soon as possible. So we'll see what happens. Now, on a purely technical basis, I did some minimal research on screen tearing and frame rates. It turns out my settings, which are 100 hertz on all my monitors, including the capture card, 60 frames a second, is actually a sweet spot. I think it means that each frame is taking 1.6 milliseconds to create, and that meshes quite nicely with 100 hertz. OBS is happy with that. The Elgato capture card is happy with that. Everything's happy with that. However, to try and minimize tearing, apparently the Unity engine is not fantastic. So to minimize tearing, I've disabled a few things. SSAO, which is, I can't remember what it does, has been switched off. And I've jiggled the shadow setting. So we'll see how that looks. It's not because the system can't handle it. My system doesn't care that much. It doesn't make any much difference to CPU and GPU utilization, but it matters to the Unity engine and to streaming, maybe. So we'll see how that works. Hi, Ulf. Lurk away. We welcome lurkers, as long as they like, subscribe, and follow. I think I got those cattails, but we'll have a look. But the thing is, moment I hop into the game, I've pretty much got to rush. Oh, the one other thing I should say is the maintenance engineer that was supposed to come round on Friday didn't. Or if he did, I missed him completely somehow. I would not be at all surprised if he shows up this morning. So if I have to drop everything and dash, that will be the reason. So we'll see what happens. No, this is Interloper, as the thumbnail explicitly suggested, if anybody looked at the thumbnail. Interloper. Right, cross fingers.
Too heavy.
Right, did I leave anything here? No, no, no. Where did I leave stuff? It might be over here. I did not. Okay, thought I did. Apparently I'm mistaken. And I think I got all the cattails, but we'll have a quick check. Oh, I did not. I missed one. Yes, but I've got to get through more than one night. I've got to get through What have we got to get through? Yeah, I might have to get a bit longer than that. I'm hoping the rabbit hasn't despawned. It looks like I got the cattails. Yep. Looks like it. Alright. Forgot about the soda. Yeah, no, it's now the wolf that was around here did get itself shot, so cross fingers I don't have to worry about that. Oh, did I? Doesn't matter. I know, torch. And I must admit, I don't want to pick up cattails in the middle of all that yuckiness there. Oh, drat. I didn't want to go through this. Never mind. We will push through. I have no idea if the eating cattails from a contaminated region is a good idea, and I don't particularly wish to find out. Oh, okay. I'm not going back for them. How does the image quality look to everybody? Because I'll be honest, I can't really see a difference. Yeah, when I switched everything off, it's really didn't do anything that I could immediately tell, but gonna need to fix my boots. Oh, oh heck, just run through. You have to try very, very hard to die of chemical poisoning. Great. Forgot about him.
I think I need to... Sun's setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon. I might have to drop some gear.
Right, made it. Yeah, the long dark isn't the most demanding thing in the world, it has to be said. Yeah, I didn't want to stop and get shot. Sorry, eaten. Chewed on. Because the last time I stopped and shot it, it still decided it was going to take a bit of a chew out of me. And I know I don't really need the torch, but... if the rabbit's still there... probably won't be, but if the rabbit is still there, I will want to eat it. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm still seeing some screen tearing on the OBS display. I think, honestly, this is about as good as I can get it. Yeah, nothing huge. It's kind of funny because the traditional settings would say things like, well, run at 100 frames a second. 100 frames a second looks terrible. Not because I can't handle it. My system here, I think some scenes will run at 120 frames a second. But yeah, matching your frame rate to your monitor resolution doesn't necessarily work. Okay, so maybe it was worth doing. And yes, I did just chug the maple syrup. Sue me. The other thing I found out, in case anybody's curious, is why it is that I on Twitch, you the viewer don't get more resolution options. Now the first thing you got to bear in mind is that the first thing to bear in mind is that hang on a second, is that by running at 1440p widescreen, or ultra widescreen, I should say, that is something that neither Twitch nor YouTube is particularly happy with, but YouTube can accommodate it. Twitch allows it, but it's really not happy. Nonetheless, as a Twitch affiliate, viewers of my streams should have access to lower resolutions, but this only happens somewhere between a third and a half of the time. And this apparently is due to priorities. As an affiliate, I don't have high priority with Twitch. As a partner, which, yeah, that's a pipe dream. As a partner, it would be a different case. But because I'm not, I therefore get whatever processing Twitch has deemed suitable. So if you're seeing, I'm streaming at 720p, well, you have that option. That's because there is the capacity to do it. If you don't see that, it means I am not a high enough priority to do anything about it. So the more you know. And you can't have told this from my demeanor. For half a split second there, the thought in my mind was, please tell me I didn't leave my bedroll behind again. Because while that would have been entertaining, it would have been not my best option.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
I'm not sure I want to hear your complaining anymore. Well, the thing is, I know I picked it up, but yeah. Right, we have a good day for getting on. Do I have anything I want to take with me? Cured guts. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't leave anything useful anyway, did I? Take the cloth, just in case. Take the feathers. Take that. I can leave the water. Take some sticks. Ooh. I should have. Do I want to waste the time? It is okay. It is chilly-ish. Do I have a free fire? Okay. We are going to push on, I think.
Come on. All right.
Yeah. I don't care. Gonna leave a bit of coal here. Oh, this is not doing me any favors with torches, is it? All right. And the reason I am not hanging around for longer is I don't want to be... The weather is good enough. I don't want to push my luck any more than I absolutely have to. And I got a free fire. Oh, excuse me a second. Well, by the way, I know in the thumbnail, if anybody's looked at it, it's not really depicting proper glimmer fog. Do you know how hard it is to persuade the hello Ptarmigan. Do you know how hard it is to persuade the thumbnail generator to create proper glimmer fog. Somewhere between impossible and forget it. Not worth the trying, to be honest with you. It's a remarkably useful tool, as I think I've said before. But yeah, it has its limitations. Talking about limitations, do you want to hear how to get Copilot to generate an image of a fantasy animal? If you've heard the story before, because I told it last night, let me know. But if you haven't, I would be happy to tell the story again, because it's kind of amusing. Well, I guess nobody wants to hear that story. I'll save it up for some other time.
Cold is making my head feel thick.
I need to warm him up.
I need to drop something.
Copilot is Microsoft's AI. Yeah, like ChatGPT. It's quite good. It'll generate images,
I could eat anything right now.
but it has limitations, shall we say. Now, some of you may have noticed my new profile picture on Twitch and YouTube. That was AI generated. Of course it was. I don't have any other means at my disposal of doing that. But I went through quite a few iterations of working out what it was I wanted that thumbnail to look like. And then discovered that Copilot, which is what I was working with, can't generate depictions of fantasy creatures. So I took the script that that Copilot's basically presented with me based on my description, and gave it to YouTube, and YouTube happily generated the thumbnail that you can now see. And so it can't create fantasy creatures. Okay. Weird, but okay. Now it did suggest, oh, I could use real creatures to try and compile a composite image that looks like a dragon, an Asian style dragon. Couldn't do that because the AI itself interpreted what we were attempting to do and said, no, you can't do that. Well, here's the thing. I thought, well, you know what? And I have no real use for it. I'll bet you I can get it to create a picture of a unicorn. Because to create a picture of a unicorn, you can actually accumulate that from two real life animals. You can use a horse, and you can use the horn of a narwhal. So I directed Copilot to create a picture of a horse with a narwhal horn centered firmly in its forehead. And lo and behold, beautiful picture of a realistic looking unicorn. I thought that was hilarious. So if you're ever using Copilot to create images and you want a fantasy picture of a unicorn, it'll do that. If you want a fantasy picture of a dragon, it won't. So, future reference for any potential creators there. It's really funny because, oh grief, a long time ago, I was actually trying something similar with, I think it was Google's AI. And Google's AI was quite happy to generate images of fantasy creatures, but not humanoid ones. It drew the line at humanoid creatures. So no elves. But you want a dragon? That's fine, but not an elf. Which I did find rather funny. Excuse me a moment. You can't tell because my head's in the way, but we are at about midday here. And so far, the weather is being rather cooperative. Suspiciously cooperative. It's probably going to dump a blizzard on me in about 5 minutes, and then you get to see me struggling through a blizzard. Oh, come on. Let me walk over that silly ridge in the snow. If it does hit me with a blizzard, I'll have little option but to basically light a fire, use my coal, warm up and carry on. I'm really not equipped for a long stay anywhere. I just had a horrible thought. Nope, got it. Just wanted to make sure I had the woodworking tools on me. Went the wrong way. In about 10 seconds, Eugene will tell me I'm going the wrong way.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Thought this was the preferred method. Oh, this has the obvious advantage of letting me get a bit warmer. And yes, I know about the torch situation. I'm not familiar with that way, it has to be said. Whatever you do, don't step on those spikes. I think I'll just wait till I warm up, to be honest with you.
Never been so hungry in my life.
And I know I'm eating everything.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
That wolf pelt, incidentally, came from the last time I was here, and there was a wolf. Rather amusingly, to me at least, the last time I checked, well, let me start over. On Saturday afternoon, I posted a 1 minute short in my series 101 Ways to Die in the Long Dark. It was almost exactly a minute long, and I fell off a bridge. Well, jumped. I can safely say I have not yet jumped off a bridge in the game, but, you know, for entertainment, that's what I did. It's gotten 64 views, which for me, for a short, isn't too bad. Ah, you may. I didn't mess around when crossing over the gaps in the trestle. But when it became clear I wasn't accidentally going to fall through, I just jumped off the edge and then said it was as easy as falling off a log. But now I cannot say I haven't died in the long dark by jumping off a bridge. I will have to modify that statement to say I've only died by jumping off a bridge because I did it deliberately and for entertainment's sake. How many times have I been past that pry bar? It's okay, I knew it was there the entire time. Oh, auto walk. Oh, you don't want to auto walk. Auto walk basically means you're handing control over. And you do not wish to do that. It's like having auto step or auto jump in Minecraft. I can understand why people do it, but you don't want to because it means you don't get to choose whether you jump or not. No, it doesn't make any sense to me. Mind you, there are some psychopaths who decide to invert their look up, look down controls. I don't understand that at all. With apologies to anybody who does. Ah, fly simulators are a little different. I'm going to give them that. It could easily be a case of you get used to it. You know, if you started out your gaming with inverted controls, I know there's a ptarmigan there. If you started out gaming with inverted controls and got used to it, then yeah, you could in fact easily justify. Of course I use the ptarmigan path. I do learn. I have learned from the best. It's a perfectly viable shortcut. Oops, sorry. Wrong button. And we are home. And I'm running out of meat here, which means I need to go kill something constructive. Don't need water, don't need to cook anything. Ah. And I have been wanting to do that ever since I went traipsing through chemical burn territory. We made it back. Yay. Right. Oh, I can do that here. Yay, that's a quick save. Oh. Well, it has to be said, that worked out moderately well. All I've got to do now is get more food. And that's a whole other different issue, which I shall worry about in the morning. Alright, I am going to take a quick break for purposes of biological functions. I am not going to describe in detail. So if you need to do the same, now is a good time. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Hello, Bricage. How you doing? Hello, Pixel. How is Phoebe? Right, got my boots mended. What else do I need to mend? That needs fixing. That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. Those are okay. It's more than the. No, I think you did tell me about Ramsey. Hello, Ramsey. If he's there. Right, do I have any rabbit stuff? I do. The good news is even if I run out of sewing kits, I have fishing line and I can make hooks, so or I can make more line and hooks, so that's not a huge deal. Let's fix the worst. What's the worst? 97, 90. Cold Tootsies. Okay, those could do with a fix. Might as well fix that. All I need now is a whole bunch of fur, then I can make a woodworking table. Do I have any salt? Yeah, I don't have 10 kilos of salt here, do I? This is a logical place for me, I think, to set up a... I do have 10 kilograms of salt. So I can actually... Wonderful. Just what we need. So I think we're all good here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Those could use a fix. Trying to decide, while in principle making a meat curing box here does make sense. Even if it's only 1 and a bit batches I could make, it could be useful. All I gotta do is grab enough food to survive long enough to make use of it. I do have ptarmigan down, which is nice. What have I got on me, just out of idle curiosity? Bit of cloth. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, some of that stuff can be quite fascinating. Oh, yes, we got ourselves another whetstone. I should keep that on me for warming up. I'm guessing I brought those with me for the leather. Well, needless to say, don't forget to give Pixel, and Phoebe a hug from me. Yes, yes, there is a certain similarity there. Can't put that away. Oh, did I pick up matches in the... I must have picked up matches in the Zone of Contamination. Yeah, that all works. All sound like excellent ideas. Yeah, that's also a valid point. Having gone to all this trouble, I almost hate to put them away. Actually, it's 1.5 kilos, isn't it? Yeah. And I know I could get rid of some of that because I don't really need it. I don't need all the coal either. Not here. Hang on a second. Something I think I need to attend to. Be right back. Sorry about that. I thought there was somebody at the door. Well, I don't know that I really need coal here. Oh, I just realized I could go back down to the ravine to pick up deer bits, couldn't I? Not that there's a heck of a lot of it there. I am going to need to make some torches. Well, that's interesting. Okay. This is one of those rare occasions when you kind of hope that there are wolves around somewhere. Was it roughly one wolf a day you end up eating? And yeah. Oh, I happened to pick up the absolute smallest, scrappiest bit of wool. And that is my food. I have got to get food today. So a couple of options for the food. I could head back to Forlorn Muskeg and try and get one of the bookend bears. They're both alive and cooking. Alive and kicking. So there is a bear down that way that I might be able to plink. The bear behind me on the lake. Are there? Okay, I'll definitely have to go look those out. In which case I definitely will want the coal I dropped. Well, I got. That's a valid point. I would not wish to either. So the bear at the back remains a halfway decent option. Wow, that's really dark on YouTube. So my best bet is go after deer. Where are the deer? Oh, you mean back this way? Not sure that that's the case, but we'll try it. Oh, yeah. No, what I meant was it wasn't as dark for me as it was for everybody else.
Come on. That did it. Too heavy.
So where are these deer carcasses, Eugene? That way and to the right. Towards the moose, you mean? What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bunch of torches and then drop them. Ah,
Come on. That's done. Wonder if I can drop any of this gear. I need to drop something.
Just going to drop off the stinkies. It's been so long I can't remember the difference between fir and cedar. Good grief, talk about eking out your existence. I really need that bear to be on the ice. Or a couple of convenient wolves. These don't do something interesting like start a blizzard. might have to go fishing. I don't want to go fishing. At this rate, I might get through the night all right, but then I'm in trouble. I could go fishing. I want the hammer or a crowbar. What time of day is it? It's still midday. And that will tell me whether there's anything else edible around here. What do you think, Eugene? Fishing? Looks like it might be my best option. Either that or I run for the for Mystery Lake. I could do the run. I could try the run to Mystery Lake. But I don't really think that's a great idea. Yeah, let's go see if we can find a wolf up top. Yeah, it does look like Blizzard, doesn't it? If I didn't kill it. Yeah, that's not worth it. Oh! Yes. Sorry. I misunderstood. You're quite right. There should be. Yes. I'm sorry. Never know mind. Yeah. Yeah, because last time we were up there, it was slightly astounding that they hadn't respawned. I was thinking go back up there and head towards Forlorn Muskeg, but you're quite right. This would be a lot more convenient. Oh, that would give me a bit. I could, of course, try and hunt the moose. Now, the only downside to that is I've never hunted the moose here. It is rather dependent upon me finding a suitable spot to hunt it from. He is way over that way. I say way over, not that way over, but over that way. I have a horrible feeling this is going to depend on me being a very good shot. Or this one decides. That is not a direction conducive to my state of mind. I think he's going to come after me anyway. Yep. Going to make my life difficult. That was a perfectly good shot too. Well, not perfectly good. If it was perfectly good, it would have dropped dead. But it didn't. Hmm. Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry, Mr. Wolf. Well, there's two wolves here. And they're both scared. Which is not handy. Oh, that's a valid point. Where was his dinner?
Could end up being useful.
Okay. He got a ptarmigan for me. I've really got to persuade at least one of those gentlemen to come at me, preferably both. I didn't leave any food. Oh, look! I do have some food here. He's gone after another ptarmigan. Never had quite this situation before. This is the weirdest situation I've had, I think. Good news is I've got some food here. Bad news is I've got 2 panicked wolves. And I'd rather they weren't panicking, because what I don't want to happen is, while they're panicking, they get too close and decide that now's a good time to attack me. And because I don't want to override their, oh, you're too close reflex, you know? There's the one way if you shoot the wolf and it's too close, you still get attacked, even if you hit it, which is not a great situation. Oh, I've lost the torch. Blast. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, and I lost the torch.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Home sweet home. But I can in fact afford to light a match. Gasp.
That did it.
And I've got water.
Getting kind of thirsty.
Oh. More or less got this place cleared out, didn't I? Literally took everything with me except for firewood and water. Well, that delays the inevitable for a bit. I don't really need the water, I know. Wolves are happily panicking over there. Yeah, he seems determined to have a thorough panic, that one. That one seems to be stuck into his loop of panic, panic, panic. This one, though... Well, he'll be dead eventually. I might just manage. And in case anybody's wondering, yes, I did in fact retreat to behind the rabbits so that that wolf or a wolf would have a chance to get me a rabbit. Where's the other wolf gone? I should be able to get through the night, though, with what I've got. And then in the morning, as long as I don't get them to despawn, I should have at least one wolf. And we can peek over the top here, see whether our friendly local bear is in residence. I mean, probably not, but it has been a while since I killed it, so who knows. Well, yeah, but it's one of those things, you know. Oh, grief. You just decided to come... He decided to get brave. It's a kind of funny situation, isn't it? I don't think I've ever had wolves be quite so skittish. I'm really reluctant to go in because I don't want Mr. Dead Wolf over there to despawn. Are you going to come back for another try? Let's get ourselves on top of the car just in case. Now that was a halfway decent shot. I think we can all agree on that. And if you can't agree on that, it's too bad. I think that was a halfway decent shot.
Come on. I might have to drop some gear.
Okay, I'll come back for that. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on, how much?
It's dusk, so night can't be far behind.
Um, yeah, the feathers are up over there. I'm gonna grab them.
Too much stuff to carry.
Oh, forgot. Oh, I thought you meant the tower go down. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. Just...
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
And now we sit on a bed. Oops. Good idea if I actually drank the water I went to get. Oh, grief. Yeah, I know I've got some. grief. 135 days. Time flies when you're having fun. Let's see if we can get the other wolf. Or not. Well, the blizzard finally caught up with me. I think we'll all agree that I was actually kinda lucky. I thought it was going to blizzard, as Eugene implied, somewhat earlier than that. Well, there's a thing. Alright, I'm going to take a momentary break for the usual reasons. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Right, talking about, well, I wasn't talking, but regarding people that some of you may remember that I have not seen in a while. Sudo popped up on my live stream last night. He is, as far as I can tell, doing well. May as well grab the cloth while I'm here. He's even popped back into Warframe. Should have brought the hacksaw, could have brought some of this down, but still. I'm just checking for things while we wait to see what the blizzard is going to do. Ah, looks like the blizzard is going to do that. So in principle, I will take the bow out anyway. In principle, we should have a deceased Canis lupus somewhere. But without any crows to direct me, this could be a little awkward. Hey, Tony. Yeah, you're probably right, but at least I can find out where it is. And who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and it's in a shady spot and I can pick up sticks. How you doing, Tony? Good to know. Because I have my YouTube preview above my head here on a 40-inch monitor. And it's actually sometimes easier for me to look up there than it is to look over there. So, yes. Yes, that's how I do it.
Come on.
Depending on where my focus is,
Pretty well.
I can see some things a little more easily. I mean, obviously I don't see it on the yeah. Obviously I don't see it on the OBS scene. So what I have here is I have the YouTube preview above my head. And it's only just above my eye line, as a matter of fact, so I can see movement there. On this side, I've obviously got my Twitch preview and that's actually fairly close to me. I've got the restream display, which displays everything right there, and then I've got OBS further over that way. But no, it's not me being psychic. I did, and a shave.
Something's gotta go.
Oh yeah. Never mind. I wasn't going very far, huh? Yes, I decided that I didn't have the patience to try and emulate my persona in my long dark thumbnails. Well, we have food. uh, my head looks more like a soft-nosed bullet when I do when I do this. That fire went out. Well, we are good for a brief time. Ah, oh, silly me. I allowed myself to get distracted towards the end of a burn there. Do we have... That's cedar. That is cedar. Well, let's not push my luck. Let's... It's been a while since I went on an obsessive fur hunt. One forgets. The rabbits have gone from here. Well, one of them has. There should be another.
I think I can use this. This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't have feathers upon me, so I'm gonna have to do something about that, because now I need four more more fire hardened arrows. Oh, by the way, Brakash, found out why it is that I don't always get, in fact mostly don't get lower resolutions available for viewers. I'm assuming you're still watching, by the way. And the reason is priorities. Twitch partners get priority. Affiliates get lesser priority. So if for whatever reason Twitch decides that it doesn't have the resources to present my videos at lower resolution, then it won't. So apparently that's the answer to that. Yes, I am technically should be getting it, but it depends on, I suppose, the load on the various servers. So that's why only a third or a half the time you get the option to view at lower resolutions. It's, yeah, apparently that's the reason. I have found things out lately. Also,
Wonder if I can
that
drop any of this gear.
against all conventional wisdom, the reason that my best settings for not getting too much tearing on the screen is because 60 frames a second at 100 hertz is apparently a sweet spot of sorts for the long dark due to its Unity engine. And in general, normally people say things like the frame rate you aim for should be the same as your refresh rate. So I've got 100 hertz. The capture card's running at 100 hertz. In principle, I should run at 100 frames a second. No, apparently that's not the case due to the peculiar way that the Unity engine behaves. My own observation and experimentation says 60 frames a second at 100 hertz works the best. I mean, not as good as it could be for other games, but the best. And apparently, it is because that is a sort of sweet spot. 60, obviously, divided by 100 is not a round number, but it's not a fractional number either. It's something like 1.6 frames per millisecond or whatever it is, or 1.6 milliseconds per frame. I can't remember. Anyway, but apparently that is a sweet spot of sorts that works for the long dark and possibly Warframe as well. So there you go. That's why I have odd settings. I have to try and reduce the possibility of screen tearing, reduced certain graphics options. SSAO, for example, is turned off. That can cause problems. Shadow detail can also cause problems. So that's been turned to low. And those are the only 3 changes that I can make within the game which might assist me. So hopefully everything's looking good. I mean, I can't actually tell the difference in graphic quality. I really can't. Yes, but it's slightly sobering. We're sorry, you're not important enough for us to spend time on. Oh, right. That's good to know. I hadn't seen the comment there. I apologize. But that's good to know, Danny. Yeah, it's the change in graphics settings. It's not necessarily what the conventional wisdom would say. And I would far rather have smoothness. Feathers? Yeah, if I see feathers, I'll grab them. Oh, yes, of course. Of course, there's a dead body over here. It's a permanent feather farm. Yeah, but she has life going on. It is weird not having her here, I must admit. Anna's been a consistent presence, like many of you have, but Anna was one of my earliest consistent presences. Way, 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 way back in the day, I think, even before I streamed The Long Dark, and I was focusing on cozier games. I think she was something like my second or third subscriber. Oh, obviously that wasn't my chat. I think I'd have remembered, but okay, glad she showed up. Mental note, come back to the body to check on things. Oh yeah, no, I think like I say, she was one of my very earliest subscribers. Oh right, okay. I'm glad we had an Anna sighting. You know, it's funny. This location now is starting to feel a bit like a vacation spot. Having said that, I'll probably now get eaten by Sasquatch or something. And no, to everybody watching who was wondering whether I'm joking, no, there is not a Sasquatch anywhere in the game.
I could eat anything.
It's kind of funny when I'm not actually focusing on it. I idly walk out and pick up 2 ptarmigans.
Feels like night is coming.
That's not a feasible location for something like a Sasquatch. You'd fall through the ice. Curiously, seeing as I brought the subject up, there have been Sasquatch sightings in all of the lower 48 and, needless to say, Alaska. Yeah, well, oh, that's the other prong down there.
I need to drop something.
Here's a random fact for you. Given that we were talking about Musk, and no, we're not going to talk about Elon. Muskox. Muskox. Now you think muskox are sort of cattle-like, don't you? You know, it's in the name, ox. Technically, apparently, muskox are goats. I mean, very big and very, yeah, but they are more closely related to goats than they are to cattle. So, now you know something you never knew you wanted to find out. The reason I'm doing this outside, by the way, is just in case to try and put off the inevitable onset of cabin fever.
Too heavy.
It's okay, I'm watching the temperature. Well, we are hitting a point where it actually makes sense for me to bring this stream to an end, because the moment I go inside we're going to get a save, and that's a useful save point. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. I've got enough food for tomorrow, but I need more. I think I've got enough food for tomorrow. Yeah. So I definitely need to do that. Sorry, find a larger supply of wolf bits or something.
Place to escape this cold.
Yes, that's right. And found me dying in a blizzard. On purely developmental grounds, I am thinking of dropping one of my Warframe live streams in return for Soulframe. I've only done about 20 Soulframe live streams, and I would like to pursue that game a little more. So what I was thinking is the hardest day for me to stream Warframe is Friday. Because up until Friday, I've been doing all the weekly stuff, you know? So you hit Friday, sometimes Thursday, but mostly Friday. You sort of reach this moment of, I've done everything and I really can't be asked to go and start something else. So what I might well do is do a Soulframe on Friday, and given that I nearly always do it one live stream at the weekend. That's what I would stream in the evenings, either on Saturday or Sunday. Because typically Sunday I want to do a live stream. So something for you to look forward to. It's, if you haven't seen Soulframe, it's it's not the same as anything else I've done. I mean, yes, it has some obvious similarities to Warframe, for example, but the setting and the tone and the environment is quite different. It's more it's closer to nature. You get to hug fur babies. You know, your biggest ally, and your two of your biggest allies are a giant wolf and a friendly bear. You know, that kind of thing. So I would like to pursue that more. So that's sort of a plan I've got going on in my head. Right. Okay. I'm going to keep the settings for the graphics. It seems to work, so we won't touch those. I hope you all have a very good week / day. This was a positively relaxing day in the long dark. It really was, or few days in the long dark. It's slightly staggering to me that I've now hit at least 135 days, 136 days, something like that. But needless to say, I will be back this evening with Warframe. It's the beginning of the week, which means the regular projects / tasks need to be undertaken. Which makes, yeah, like I say, the first few days very easy for me. I will see you all next time. Remember to hug your own Kubro, Kravats, and fur babies of various descriptions. See you next time. Thank you very much for watching. It's much appreciated.